Starke Sound Beta 5 stand mount speaker was one of my all-time favorite entry-level speakers that sell for $500 for a pair of them. So let's find out how the top of the line $5,600 pair of Halo M1 perform in my system. Hello everyone, welcome to Tabama Hi-Fi Review channel. Today I would like to share my long-term extensive testing experience of using Starke Sound top-of-the-line stand-mount speaker. Halo M1 is featuring beryllium dome tweeter, carbon fiber bass driver like DAD drivers, kind of all-cone bass driver in 6.5 inch. Overall design is excellent, cast aluminum frame and everything that you can see and feel, all quality parts and components, as well as custom crossover caps and all that they designed together. Best of all, and one and only in this price point, roll grid design that they offer. Front buffer and rear wall of this Halo M1 is solid aluminum with aluminum shaft that go through inside that housing to give you most rigid foundation. So that is one of the leading design in my opinion that going to rival above $10,000 price range of stand mount speakers. A little puzzle me is they have that kind of super rigid frame and foundation, but the actual shell of the housing is appear to be painted MDF, slightly thinner side of MDF kind of feeling when I knock it. So it's all painted all over, so I can't really tell what material actually is. But when I did the knuckle test, it's kind of feeling less solid sound. So I mean, that is a little different design choice of super solid structure with a little hollow type and thinner type of cabinet shell. So they are probably prioritizing the reverberation of thinner cabinet wall to give you better bass response as well as sensitivity of the speakers. This one is 4 ohm rated speaker and sensitivity is surprisingly good and as good as my S1EX towers with DAD drivers, 3-way design from Pioneer that designed by Andrew Jones. When I started trying this Halo M1 in my system, I started breaking them in at streaming setup, right? Watching Netflix and Disney and all that. So I was using it on powers and working Steph 24 metal stands that treated. It doesn't work well. Halo M1 is very sensitive to stands that it will respond. So as far as that combination in average components for pairing it with this Halo M1 doesn't really work well in terms of fidelity and control and the mechanical response of these Halo M1 speakers sitting on that metal stand. Bright sounding. By the way, I don't do any measurement at the beginning. I don't want measurement results influencing my listening impression. Right when I moved it here, I started using it with Ocuface E4000, ASD cables connected, 6 and silver conductors. Speaker wires cost as much as Halo M1 speakers. End-to-end ASD silver wires. Sony HAP-Z1 ESS music server. I was using Eversolo Z10. I find it to be pretty neutral sounding, dynamic bass quality, rich in bass response. It totally shows true sound signature and true ability and capability of these stand mount speakers. Faceted waveguides or acoustic lens gonna be looks really cool, but when you're really trying to find precision notes and precise stereo image, it can throw you off. I'm using this single pole heavy duty MDF speaker stand in that combination. The top plate is the acoustic signature gel coat plate. So that totally void the vibration going down to the main stand from the speaker. So there was a little silicone bump that I put in between. I didn't realize that was one of the issue listening my music with very same setup, and I started to change deck with top in DX9 discrete. Sound get bolder and richer as well as deeper, but brightness and upper range of frequencies are still there. It doesn't matter what cable I use, copper or silver. I end up giving up on switching the cables around. I just keep it as it is, right? So using DX9 discrete, and I mean, low level listening is pretty decent. It's not to the level of some of my favorite speakers in general, regardless of the price point. My low level listening, meaning around 50-55 dB peaks the most, right? Conversation level loudness, I say around 12 feet away from here. So that kind of loudness level, my volume control at around 60-66 range, depending on the music. If I stream it online, gain is going to be on E4000 is around 66. If I'm using my own music server, gain is going to be around 60. Frequency extension is excellent. Width is very good. Only thing that I have yet to find is precision notes and precise stereo image and layering and delicate small notes that come towards you, float around your ear, and that kind of holographic reproduction is still yet to be found. End up pulling them out 4 feet from the wall behind it, and tiny bit of toe in, not much, right? About 7 feet apart or a little over 2 meters in placement. This stand is 24-inch stand. Listen my music all over again. I have to find it. I talked to Starke Sound and they said there is absorption right behind the bass driver. If I removed it, I may have a slightly warmer and richer upper bass region. I tried that and it works great, but I'm not getting where I want it to be. So what I tried was I end up putting the sound absorption pad between the tweeter and bass driver, and it worked out well. I also put in a little bit of felt pad right behind the tweeter housing just to reduce resonance from melter housing, although it has the treatment inside the housing. When I switch it over to X30M, I'm still using original 845 tubes with Pavane Horizon 300B driver tubes, standard tubes in input stage. So when I'm listening with that combination, slightly improves in holographic sound and stereo image and those areas, but I'm not totally enjoying the sound yet. So I switch it over to driver tubes, power tubes, or Summit series DAD input tubes, and Pavane Western Electric replica WE310A pre-tubes. In that combination, sound get more defined and more richer side of neutral sound with absolute detail and resolution that it can offer is incredible. Overall, sound staging and width, I have no problem with it. Depth is incredible. Bass response, very impressive. Mid-range quality and accuracy, very good. Upper mids to lower highs frequency response, and the mid-range slight edginess and slight sibilant in that upper mids area that bothering me. So I was like, okay, let's do the trick here, which is these felt strip. These are 4mm thick felt strip. I also try 2mm thick felt strip and it doesn't work well, so I end up changing it to 4mm thick felt strip around the faceted waveguide, so it works wonderfully well, smooth and forgiveness that it can offer. But time to time, when the recording quality is not so great, it still shows that a bit of edginess in upper range of frequency. Those are true sound signature and nature of these Halo M1 speakers. They have ability like studio monitor kind of revealing ability of music, but they do have signature sound. They are not entirely transparent due to the waveguide sound staging can be all over the place with some recording. I tried 5 different decks, starting with this Ever Solo Z10 topping DX9 discrete. So those work okay, right? So my rating is gonna be probably 7 out of 10 in that combination. I tried recently review Gusted Audio R262 R2R deck, 8 out of 10. After all those decks, I went back to this Galubito Divinity R2R North deck, and it sounded beautifully, right? But still, the upper range of frequency that's still there time to time with some of the music. So my last resort is the tube hybrid deck that I have from X2O, that is TA32, using Romuse IC Delta Sigma chip in there. Compared to those two decks back to back, I will give it around 8.5 out of 10 pairing component. So I end up going back to Midrange SACD player, silver XLR cable to this X30 tube amp, and silver RCA cable to Audiophiles E4000 connector. I was doing back and forth, switching the cables. It sounds very nice, better than other decks. Less revealing sound and more forgiving. After that, right, I got all my conclusion how far it can go, how far I can push. When I was pushing this Halo M1 to the limit, bass heavy tracks like Billie Eilish Bad Guy can put these drivers out around 98 dB peaks range. So my volume control at around 30 on this Audiophiles E4000 amp. That is going to be limitation of these driver. That is 98 dB loudness. When I was pushing them with other tracks such as Daft Punk tracks and those music, I can get it around a little over 100 dB range. That is going to be volume level is around 25 on E4000. That's where the limit is. That is extremely loud already, but I wasn't able to go past 100 dB plus. Tweeter seems to be fine, well composed without destroying the actual soundscape and resolution, without thinning out all the notes. That is impressive strength of these beryllium tweeters in general. This one have no problem handling that much of SPL. Sound is still well composed in that kind of loudness level. Bass quality is excellent, although starting to show breakup points in that area like 98, 100 dB range, but upper range and mid range and highs are still producing good sound. They respond very well to pairing components, sound signature, and sound quality of music as well. It's gonna be very revealing system that you're gonna have if you use this Halo M1. So if you want wall of sound, totally revealing speakers with tremendous bass response for this size of speakers, this is gonna be very good option for you to consider. But if you have super sensitive ears in upper mid-range, I wouldn't say forwardness, it's resonance kind of a diffraction comes on those faceted waveguides and those lens that produce, right? So those acoustic sound waves is shooting. So that's where you're gonna see in my measurement. For the placements wise and stand wise, I don't recommend putting any spear or any silicone or rubber pads between this Halo M1 and your stand. If you have MDF stand or heavy duty stand, I don't recommend using them with metal stand. They will not work well. Mechanically, structurally, they design it so well. Very impressive design. So sound quality, only matter of taste, and subjectively you have to choose and you have to consider whether you like that kind of sound. So this is going to be very good home theater speaker, the way that it can project immersive wall of sound into your room. By the way, this room is 26 feet by 16. This is where I'm going to talk about in-room response measurement using REW software. First one that you see here is 1 meter or 3 feet away, single speaker measurement. Right? This frequency response and measure results is a bit unusual, especially that frequency shoot up in upper range area about 16,000 hertz. It's not actually breakup points per se, because breakup point doesn't look like it. This one seems like the way that they tune, or the way that this beryllium dome responds with this faceted acoustic lens. Next graph is with the grill on and grill off results that I measure from same position. So lower bass tend to respond and enhance more with the grill on. The green one is with the grill on. This graph is to show you how my room is working with this Halo M1 in-room response. So 12-inch measurement right on axis of this speaker totally void the room, right? That is the basic rule of thumb in when you measuring acoustic measurements. So I measure it from 12-inch. That is the blue graph that you can see on the screen. And red one is standard 1 meter, 3 feet away measurements. That is how it should be. And next one is stereo and mono measurement. As you can see, mono and stereo, the upper range of extension and upper range of frequency slightly rolled up in the area. And this graph is very interesting. As you can see, red one is single speaker 1 meter measurement. Green one is 65-degree measurement from same distance, right? And the next one is blue one is 45-degree measurement, and orange is 15-degree measurement. So when I measure the 15-degree measurement from off-axis position, frequency response is so good. That's how I like the sound of most of the speakers in general when you combine two channels, right? But this is a single channel mono measurement off axis. So that is pretty good response. So I mean, I kind of wonder why they don't design these acoustic lens to have that kind of response at the sweet spot. Probably they prioritize how wide and wall of sound that they can deliver using these type of acoustic lens. And this graph is more interesting for me personally. This is after the treatment and before the treatment result, right? As you can see, green one is before the treatments with these felt strip around the acoustic lens and around the beryllium dome tweeter. Stereo measurement from my 10 feet measurement position. So green one is without the treatments, how upper range of frequency extended up. So that's where the brightness comes from in general. Brightness is also come from hard surface, like these acoustic lenses are made of aluminum without any coating, meaning rubbery coating or some sort of acoustic treatments other than faceted design, right? That is the response. So the orange one is after treated with the diamond shape acoustic treatments with felt strips, and that's where I get the frequency response I hear from my listening position. So it's more enjoyable, more forgiving, still absolute resolution. That's how I will put it. This Halo M1 is that much capable. Totally show you all the mouth movement and tongue movement inside the mouth when the singer is singing. So one of my go-to track for that purpose is Diana Krall, No Moon at All. When she starts singing, her mouth movement and tongue movement, inside movement, the small noises are all recorded because she was singing close mic performance. So that all those are revealed totally shows. Before these felt treatments, it's not really natural sounding per se. So that's how they produce without the treatments. These acoustic lens and beryllium dome tweeters are. So when I treat it with felt strip, those are more natural and engaging. After the treatments, most impressive thing and my favorite thing is how precise stereo image it can get. Right, not to the level of those coaxial driver in any way, but it's very good. This speaker can totally respond to small adjustment and small tuning, a few changes. They are extremely sensitive, and as well as the speaker stands are super important. So I was using silicone bunds between the stand and Halo M1, right? I ended up removing all those silicone. Halo M1 directly sit on Jericho plate of this Q acoustic stands, and it's even more improved. But using them in living space without treatments, they may respond differently. Tonality and sound signature is going to be revealing sound. It can offer absolute resolution and spacious sound. It can be out of control at times with some of the recording. So as far as the amplifier pairing goes, Accuphase E4000 kind of high damping factor amplifier give me absolute quality based out of this Halo M1 as well as mid-range quality. Stereo image is much improved after minor treatments and things that I did internally and externally. I treated with felt strip in diamond shape around the tweeter. That works wonderfully well. When I was listening back to back with focal, bass response out of this Halo M1 is more impressive as far as how well and how controlled down low it can go. So quality of the drivers, quality of the components, industry leading roll grid design that they offer, refinement area that's slightly lacking behind for my personal taste. It's getting there when I did a few adjustments, especially these felt strip helping stereo image. Small notes are coming next to me, floating next to my ears, kind of presentation and sound production is totally impressive. Width of the soundscape, depth of the soundstage, and resolution, everything is top of the range of stand mount two-way speaker. If you're a big fan of top of the line build quality and stock sound speakers, this is gonna be very good option for you to audition. So that is the experience that I like to share with you. Thank you for watching and happy listening.
Come into my solitude, though I weary be. Come into my tenderness, dream along with me. Listen to the whispers sing, listen to the singer shout. Come into my solitude, be my big mouth. Thoughts unspoken, thoughts unsaid, lies of hearth and home, children broken on the bed and left to lie alone. Things you talk around, scum you choke on down. Come into my solitude, step on sacred ground. We were speaking of values and violence, breaking silence. Fathers who are lovers to the daughters that they own, mothers who don't leave a child a single safety zone. People so unhinged that death is much too kind. Come into my solitude, step over that line. Thought I was the only one. Thought I was the only one. Thought I was the only one. walls that do not speak, steps that do not sound, come into my solitude. World is